Hey everyone, if you are serious about building n8n automation workflows for your business, your company, or for your personal productivity, you need to know how to version control your workflows, which manage your workflow changes over time. In this video, we are going to explore why you should care about this and how to implement it on your own n8n platform, even you are not using enterprise version. Join our free community at the link in the description below. You can download the free n8n workflow template for today and import it into your own environment. In the community, just search for the post by using today's video title, Why Version Control is Necessary for Your n8n Workflows. So, I've been in this IT game for over 20 years now, and let me tell you something about myself. I dislike repetitive jobs with a passion. One time, when I still working in a company, I just finished a major project and my boss come over with this look in his eyes. So we need someone to maintain this system now, and I need you to. And I'm like, wait. Can you ask someone else to do it? I will make sure I hand over comprehensive documents to my colleague, and I make sure he can handle it without me. You see, I have some things important to do. Now, building with my own business, oh man, it's beautiful. Any repetitive jobs? After I've done it a couple of times, I'm like, hey AI, this is your problem now. Automation workflows, AI agents, billion stuff. Okay, honestly, can't avoid all of them. Let me take you back to the tech company I work for. It was 6 p.m. and the open space office was almost empty, leaving just myself and a colleague next to me, and with only soft sound of keyboard typing. I've been battling with this module for 2 whole days. I'm exhausted, my brain is fired. But then, I have a billion ideas. Oh yes, this is genius. Why didn't I think this before? This approach is so much better. And you know what I did? I deleted the original work, all of it, replaced with my new one. Next morning, I open up my computer and oh no, this isn't going to work. I completely miscalculated. My new module can't handle half of the situation the old one could. Damn it, what the heck? Now I have to rebuild everything in that module from scratch. Repetitive work. I can only blame myself. I'm telling you this story because version control isn't just some technical best practice. It's a lifesaver. We have all been there, right? Working on an important proposal on a Word document. Deleting that paragraph you thought was useless. Then, next day, wait. Where is that session with budget breakdowns? Thankfully, tools like Microsoft 365 now give us version history, and your workflow have to have version control too. This simple system saves us from ourselves and our overconfident 6 p.m. self who think they know better than our 9 a.m. selves. Alright, let's first take a look at this commit workflow. So we'll commit to GitHub. I'll explain each part to you in detail in a moment. Now, let me give you a demonstration. Up here in the top left corner, there's a link that helps us make a commit. Just click here to commit a change. When I click here, a form pops up. Then I click next, and you see here there is a new project called GitHub Commit Workflow, the name of our workflow. Its ID is also shown up here. Note that all these workflows are actually saved in JSON, so we can do version control, easy to compare each versions. As you can see, at the beginning, we detected that this project doesn't even exist on the GitHub. Now, we have to answer the questions. Do we want to commit the workflow? Yes. After click Next, it asks us to provide a comment. There's a big advantage here, which is we can record the change where we make for each commit. It's a new workflow. Next, it is successful. Now, let's look back in the GitHub and we refresh the page and we see the file is committed. Here, you can see the comment and you can see the source code. Alright, so what if there is any changes? Just to give a simple example, a note here. I make a few changes here and after I save it, this time when I click the commit, it detected this is a workflow already exists. So we need to add just some comment. The steps are really simple. Now, if we go back to GitHub and refresh it, you can see it is updated. You can even click on the history and you can click to see the difference between each changes. If you need, you can actually download an old version from here and then import back in. It is exactly the same as how we usually import templates to n8n. So your versions are properly saved. Alright, so if I want to commit a new workflow called your personalized web AI agent, it is actually very simple. All I need to do is to copy this note and place this note into the new workflow. And I need to edit this link. You see here, we need an ID, and our ID is actually up there. I just need to copy the ID here and paste it down here. And then I save it. All right, now I'm going to commit this workflow. It is a new workflow detected. Then I select yes, next. And then I just enter some comments for this workflow. Okay, basically the commit was successful. It is a different file name. If you check back to the GitHub, you can see a new JSON is here. No matter how many workflows you have, you do this the same way. And every time it just need to go to the top left corner and click on to submit your workflows. This is very convenient to back up your workflows. Next, I will explain how to download this template from the free community to your n8n platform. The first thing you have to do is to join the free community. There's a link in the description below. After you join, you see a section called YouTube Resources. Videos are available for you to find. For this particular video, you can search for version control here in this episode. Scroll down below, you can see today's template. You can download this, and this template is in zip format, so you have to unzip it. After that, you go back to your n8n platform, create a new workflow, and import from file. Now you choose files. Here we go. We'll then go through step by step. The first thing we have to change is to give it a better name. Let's call it GitHub commit. Let's get a feel of this whole workflow. From the very beginning, we get the file from GitHub. There is two paths. I will explain this and it will make sense. Then we will go through the workflow preparations. Finally, we will upload the workflow, either commit it as a new workflow or update it. So the first things we need to do is to prepare a GitHub account. So you can follow along to create one as I am doing now. Fill all the informations. And then verify the account. You need to verify your account by getting the number from your email. Log in back to your account. The first thing we need to do is to create a new repository. Make sure you note your owner name, and this is important. Now we can create a new repository. Let's call it n8n workflow. Make it private. Make sure you click this add a new readme files. As in our workflow, we need to have a file inside the repository at the beginning. It doesn't matter what file it is, a readme will work. This is our new repository, and you can see there's only one file called readme.md. And now we go back to our workflow. The first things we need to do is to set up the GitHub. This is the GitHub node, and we will need to create a new credential for it. Let's go to the settings and then scroll all the way down and search for the developer settings and go to the personal access tokens. Click on the tokens classic, generate new token. Use the classic one and then give it a name, n8n. You can set the expiry date to no expiration. Give it the permission, the full repo, and leave the others as default. Now you have your tokens. You copy your tokens and then place it in your n8n. And then you can copy your username right here and save it. You see the connection is okay. Now, this is the first GitHub node. All we do in this node is to list all the files in this repository. So make sure you set the repository owner name. And then you can look for the repository name. Here is n8n workflows. Leave the others as default and click execute. Next. Now you can see all the files in that repository is listed. So we aggregate the results, use the aggregate node, and then execute it. You can see we will aggregate all the file names, but for now we just have one, the readme.md. The next part is to determine whether we have an input workflow or not. But for now, we don't have a designated workflow ID, so we will go through this selection process. The first is to get all the workflow from the n8n platform. So what we are going to do is to create another account, duplicate one page tab so that we don't need to close our original tab. Go to settings of your n8n platform and click the n8n APIs. You can create one API keys, name it n8n commit, and set the expiry time to no expiration. Keep the scope and save. Now you save your API keys and place it back. You create a new credential and place your API keys The next thing you need to set is the base URL. Depends on where you deploy your n8n platform. If you deploy it into n8n cloud, your URL will likely your name and then .app.n8n.cloud. If you, like me, self-host your n8n, then you type your custom domain /API/v1 and save it. You can see the connection is successful. Give it a better name, call it n8n commit. Now, this node aims to get all the workflows from this n8n platform. So we use the operation get many and return all. And you can see I have gathered all the workflows. So the next node is to filter. What we want is to remove the archived workflows. You see in the n8n platform, once we delete a workflow, it is marked as archived instead of delete it immediately. So in this filter, we just want to filter out those archived workflows. I have 47 inputs in total. Only 35 are unarchived. So the next one, I use the aggregate node to get all the workflows in JSON. What I really need is the ID and the name of the workflows. So you can see I get a list of array of the workflows. The next one is a form. So it's to let your user to choose the workflow. You can see this is all the list. And for our workflow now, our workflow is called GitHub commit. So I commit it. Now for the next step, this is a code node. The purpose of this is to get the selected ID of the workflow. So if you are not familiar with this code, you just need to use it. No worry about this. This is just a simple JavaScript. The next node is to get the workflow details from the n8n platform by using the project ID. So make sure you select the correct credential. And then we use get and by the ID. You can see this is the workflow. We have a lot of nodes. The whole things we are going to store as a template. Now the next block, we are going to prepare for the latest workflow. So we will make the workflows as JSON files. This is actually a convert to file node. And we do the operation convert to JSON. And what it tries to do is to convert it to a JSON files. And the next step is to make it to base64. And this format is suitable for uploading into the GitHub. Now the next one is the edit field. We just need to get all the useful variables and set it here. Like the ID is actually come from the found by project IDs. And the GitHub file name is made up by using these two information. Let me just make it bigger for easier to see. You can see it is constructed by the name hyphen and then the project ID .json. And eventually our template JSON will have the name like this. Now, the next step is to go to the upload. So we will need to check whether this workflow is already in the GitHub. And for now, it is not. We are going to commit a new workflow. And here is how we check if the workflow is already in the GitHub. Now, so this is a new workflow. Now we will go to the lower part of the new workflow. We will have a pop-up box to ask the user whether he wants to commit this new workflow or not. So make it a yes and next. And the next step is to determine whether the user wants to go on and or not. And then ask user for the commit comment. Here it is. So we typed on the comment. This is the first commit. Now we will go on and commit this to the GitHub. Make sure you select your correct credential, and then we'll use resources file and operation to create a new workflow, create a new file. You type your owner name, and then you choose the right repository name and execute. Now it is committed successfully, and finally we will just let the user know the commit is successful. And when we go to the GitHub, you can see the file is already uploaded. Now we'll try to go to the other path. So what we are going to do is to copy this test URL, and we are going to edit this URL. Double click this and then change the URL. Make sure you replace it until question mark. And then the ID, here is the workflow ID. You can copy it from your URL. You see, just copy this. And you just need to replace it right there. And now we can do the test. Let's click on test, and it is listening to any incoming call. So we click on the link and do the commit, start the process. Now it is okay. So the next step is to get all the files from the GitHub, and then we again aggregate those file names. You can see there's 2 files now we have. And then for this times, we already have a designated workflow ID. You can see the expression here. Whenever we provide a designated ID, we can see it from here on the form submission. So we will go through the upper part without asking users to select the workflow again. Then we will get the workflow by the ID. Now we will prepare for the workflow and make it base 64. And now we are going to check if this is already in the GitHub. You can see this, it is now already in the GitHub because we have committed for once. So we are going to go through the up route. The first note, we are going to download the workflow from GitHub. Make sure you select the correct credential and type the correct owner, as well as the repository. Now we will download the workflow from GitHub. And for this note, we are comparing the differences between the workflow from GitHub and the workflow now in this n8n platform. So if there's no change, we don't need to commit again. You see, we have no change at all because I haven't saved the workflow yet. So that's why this is the end of this workflow. Now let me save it and let me quickly run this again. Let me run this again. Click on the test. I don't use this one. I use the link above and click next. And then I go through this very quickly. Okay, we get the workflow and prepare the workflow. Okay, again, we download the workflow from GitHub and we compare it for now. Now, we found some changes, so it's good to commit again. We will prompt the user to enter the comment of this commit. So this is the comment. Submit it. Now the next step is to upload the files. This is the GitHub node again. Make sure you choose the right credential and then type the owner and select the right repository and execute. Now the file is updated to the GitHub. And finally, we give a note to user. Okay, let's go to the GitHub page and refresh. You can see a new update is here. It means the commit is successful. So finally, when everything is ready, what we need to do is to set this workflow active. And then one more thing we need to do is to use the production URL instead of the test. So you copy the production URL, go back to the link, and replace this link to a production URL. Make sure you replace it up to the question mark. So this is it for today's workflow. In this video, you have learned why and how to implement version control to your n8n workflows using GitHub. A simple yet powerful method to integrate with your GitHub for safe, reversible workflow management. So I have one question to you. When do you think is the best time to commit a version of your workflows? Should you commit it daily? Only when a new part is complete? Perhaps after every significant changes? Or do you have other strategies? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. If you like me sharing this kind of videos, please like and subscribe. Your help is much appreciated in growing this channel. Happy learning. I'll see you in the next one.